Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, for holding this hearing. I don't know that there is a subject that's more important to the citizens or to municipalities than relying on the water that we drink. And we know there are many challenges that states and localities face in coming into compliance with the legal requirements of the Clean Water Act. Though I think we've done a fairly good job in this country. Back in 2007, when I chaired this subcommittee, President Bush did a study, or his administration did a study, that we needed to invest $19 billion every term for the next 20 years to bring us up to level. We've never been able to meet that goal, though we have made some strides, I think, in ensuring clean water. Limited resources, population growth, aging infrastructure, and other factors pose an additional and costly obstacles for states and municipalities in an effort to respond to both their legal requirements and the needs of their communities. And integrated planning is one way to address these challenges, and in certain cases, when a city fails to meet these requirements, civil penalties are assessed. And my question, let me start with Mr. Buttigieg from South Bend, Indiana, the city of Notre Dame. I graduated from that area before you were born. Could you, or any other member for that matter, but on this panel, discuss what might you believe is more reasonable alternative to civil penalties for local governments, which would also ensure that municipalities continue to make good faith efforts to improve their water?
Well, thank you, Representative Johnson, and thank you for speaking to the importance of the issue. I think this goes to the question of what the relationship is between cities and the federal government. Are we being regarded as a co-regulator and a partner, or are we being regarded as a regulated polluter? And I think that civil penalties wind up, in a way, robbing Peter to pay Paul, especially in a low-income community, where you're effectively penalizing the very residents and citizens that we're trying to serve and protect. You could envision another approach where, for example, if it came to that, there would be an enforced commitment that the dollars would go into some kind of fund that would continue to benefit residents. But I think the most important thing is the mentality, that it focuses not on penalizing those units of government that are trying to do the right thing, but coming up short because of a limitation in resources, but rather only those that are refusing to work in good faith.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to comment on? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Johnson, thank you for that question. One concept that we haven't talked about, and we use a lot in Ohio and other states do too, is using supplemental environmental programs in lieu of civil penalty. We agree that with you that the idea, and as well as articulated by Mayor Pete, the idea to take a civil penalty and have that come to the state or the federal government and not seeing that money invested back in the community is something that we think is counterproductive in many cases. There may be an opportunity in some cases where you have to use civil penalty as a tool, but in many cases we think that money should be and could be plowed back into the community through supplemental environmental projects on other further upgrades to the drinking water, wastewater systems, green infrastructure, integrated planning or asset management, or just any small number of tools where you can invest those dollars and see them pay multifold dividends to the community.
Thank you.
Congresswoman Johnson, Mr. Chairman, it's an excellent question, and with respect to the position of counties, the issue of civil penalties is counterproductive to what we're all trying to accomplish here, because it does divert money away from the very needs that are at hand at a time when the availability of funds is so restricted and so narrow with respect to the matter at hand. Flexibility, of course, the ability to apply things that provide more efficient and effective ways to do this that save money is also something that's critically necessary. And we would also add that a focus on water quality instead of just simply volume reduction in approaches to things puts the issue right back where it needs to be. But at the end of the day, we want to have a partnership with EPA and not be considered, and I think Mayor Pete put it very well, as regulated water polluters. We're all working for the same thing.
Thank you very much. My time's expired.